Hi, YouTube. How are you doing? I'm having a pretty good day. I will be able to tell you the rest of my story here, and I'm sure I've cleaned my phone good enough. I don't think I'll get cut off. I've been listening to Esoteric Eddie over on Leak Project, and Rex over there said something that I agree with. He was talking about Sumerian texts or one of them from ancient times. And Rex said, yeah, but who wrote that? And that's true. See, I look at a lot of things like that and breaking down texts and scriptures and that type of thing and understanding where they originated from and how one word would mean something in one language and another in another. So when I listen to anybody, I use my instincts, like what really makes sense in a world with people. And I just kind of, even when they're talking about experimenting with people in labs and stuff, what creating chemicals to put in us like they do today, they can't do what God did, even though they fell and they chose to step down and play God, doesn't make anything that they're saying. So they're trying to, like I'll go with the gender thing again. There's this big movement where men are like, well, I'm getting in touch with my feminine side. And I'm like, dude, explore your male humanity first, and then we'll talk about the female. No offense to you men that act like men, but you know where I'm going with that. They're just if we were in the womb and we were twins and one's a boy and one's a girl, the girl has two X chromosomes and the boy has one and one Y each. And that's distinct. And the female has that from the beginning. And I just believe, like, well, anyway, I guess that doesn't matter. I'll get on with my story here in a little bit. Let me take a sip of my coffee. This is a tough one. I became a total vegan for 2 days. I'll tell you why. I boiled cauliflower last night and had sunflower seeds and cauliflower with butter and salt and pepper, and it was good. Okay, the night before, Doug came home after visiting with some friends and actually doing me a favor at the same time. But in the long run, one of his friends, um, he had seen a few different people had given him a piece of venison. He put it in the fridge when he got home, and then had a couple beers and was already well into partying anyway. And it was getting later. So that wasn't any big deal. So in the meantime, I came out and I took part of a steak that he had in there, and I that I had made for him the other day, and cut some pieces off for the kitties and cut up some low fat, low sodium cheese for them, the cats, and had two really nice plates of stuff for my kitties. Okay, so I'm back in my room and I'm just chilling. So just a minute. So Doug starts cooking something. He's like, okay, I thought he was warming up his steak. So he's cooking that. And then he cooked his venison and he ate it. And then he made some hamburger on the in between time. And he said to me, I have some hamburger that is for a burrito if you want it, but it's just hamburger. And I'm thinking, well, that's good because I wasn't in the mood for burrito spices. So I told him, just leave it for me. Thank you, because I didn't know what I was going to have that night anyway. But keeping in mind now that I still had cut up that cheese and it was a fresh block of cheese, so I could tell that I was the only one had cut something off of that. But that didn't occur to me right away. In the meantime, so now there's like 4 different plates on the table for Doug that he was eating stuff. And he doesn't, oh, fly. He doesn't usually do that. So this is like, and it gets stranger. So still not a big deal. I'm thinking, well, okay, oh, whatever, you know? So, oh, give me a minute. The hardest part is what I did to myself. Okay, so I'm still eating my sunflower seeds and I'm chilling out. And I got done with them and I came out and there was hamburger in a pan. But there was cheese on it, and I thought, well, that's okay. I could just, and I asked him twice right then, is this what was left for me? And he said, something, but he wouldn't really answer me. It was weird. And then I asked him again, and then he gave me another weird answer. And so I thought, okay. And then he walked away, and I grabbed a little piece, and I thought, oh, well, I'll just put it on some bread. It's the cheese and the burger together. Not a big deal, and it was enough for like a nice sandwich. Okay, then, so I come back in my room for a while and I was going to go back out there. When I went out, I couldn't see any of the kitty dishes that I had cut up their stuff for them. And then I thought, well, okay, so I grabbed the bread and I grabbed a block of cheese because I couldn't see the kitty dishes. And there's no way that they could have ate the amount that I had cut up for them. So I was thinking, did he put that in that hamburger off the kitty's plate? Yeah, I had taken a bite of that and I was like freaking gagging all night. I had a cheese sandwich. That's it. Then sunflower seeds in a cheese sandwich. Or so I'm more vegetarian, not vegan right now. I don't know what I'm going to have tonight, but last night it was the cauliflower, and that's why I was cracking up so bad. I was still so grossed out. I would never share a bite of food with a cat or a dog or whatever, and that's, that really rooted me out. But just the way he was when I was asking him questions about it, just shifty, and looking back on it, it's like you just cannot trust anybody. So that's what I was laughing so hard about yesterday. I could not believe it because I freaking asked him and he wouldn't answer me twice. It was one of the weirdest nights. Bad, huh? Maybe some of you don't think so, but it was pretty rough on me. I'll kiss my kitty on top of their head, but if they like spit on me and stuff, I'll go wash. And I usually pet my cat at the end of the day and then clean up, like working or whatever, because I'm really allergic, highly. That's what I was doing yesterday. Is I didn't even want to wash some of the old bedding that I had like on a couch where Doug's cat was laying and all that, but I let the rain wash it off and I'm going to use it out in a kitty house. So, but I thought I'm not going to even beat up my washing machine for a couple things. It's like, nah, get something new. So I was busy yesterday just getting rid of things out of here and it feels fresher. And today Doug is working on we've got 8x8s that were poles for my horse's gate in her pasture. and she's dead now. So, um, anyway, it's been about a year and a half. So he got those poles, pulled them out with the tractor and the chain, pressure treated, um, 8x8s, I think, and using that for a basis, got framed up an addition for the house. For we used to have a woodshed attached to the house there, and he's putting just extending it all the way over like we were going to initially do anyway, but using lumber from off our land. So that's the cool part about it, you know. Cut by the Amish, they have a sawmill by us, and so was the cauliflower that I got was Amish. Some of the best I've had forever. And I just did it lazy. Usually I'll cut it up, or I like it even raw, with ranch dressing. I'll take like cauliflower and broccoli and carrots and celery and whatever and make a big bowl of stuff just to dunk in ranch, and then make like a soup or something out of that if there's leftover, you know. But, or I've frozen it before if I get like too many vegetables, get a little too crazy. It depends on how many are eating it. I would eat the raw stuff more than most people that have been around me. So they usually like whatever if it's cooked and smothered. And, but either way, but it was wonderful. It was really good. The flavor, so, and freshness. But the one cauliflower, oh, that's what I say. I got lazy. I cut it in chunks about like that and put it in my big pan. I have a big stainless steel um, pan for like stews or whatever. I mean, I got a big stock pot, but this one's, normal. I think it's a 8 quart, maybe something like that. Pretty good size. So anyway, I cut it in huge chunks because we have two cauliflowers. One was a little smaller than normal, or like a tiny, compared to this mammoth. I'm not kidding. The biggest cauliflower I ever saw in my life. So I was cutting like chunks off like that big and just boiled them like that, like as if they were like a big whole potato, because I didn't feel like cutting everything up, and just boiled that up. And that was really good. So, and I got my protein with my sunflower seeds, so it was pretty. And a glass of milk with protein, whey protein. So pretty healthy. Not totally vegan, vegetarian for sure, because that meat thing kind of got me. So, but I am thinking and hoping if I have energy tonight, I want to fry some eggs and have some bacon and English muffins and eggs, I think is what I'll make. Maybe, maybe. Depends. I haven't done my exercises yet. I was out moving stuff so we could get that addition put there, so, and putting some stuff in the kitty house that I let air out last night. And so yeah, I have work to do in there, but not a lot. I had some cardboard boxes that I had some of the babies would play in. There's all kinds of toys in there for them, and kitty toys, and I'll get in there and take a picture once I get it set up now for this year. It'll be even better than last year. I showed you a picture of the outside last year, but when we got the black rubber roof on it to keep the heat in, and with my horse's old 20-gallon, or is it 30 gallon water bucket with a tank heater in it. So they have 32 degrees all the time on one wall, and the heat from the day and the windows in there and the black roof. So it really is pretty pleasant in there, even in sub-zero weather. And then they have houses in that house raised off the ground with carpeting and rubber mats and you name it. So I'll show you. They're good to go. Any wild kitty would be happy. And they have their own kitty door and so and to eat in there when it's freezing outside and have fresh water. That's half the battle of survival, right? Well, that's the whole battle I take away from them. So, yeah. That's probably about it today, my friends. I just wanted to tell you about a very embarrassing, freaky moment, and I cannot prove the words when I asked twice and Shifty just well, when people are partying too, they're not always all there with you like that, so that's challenging. So I'm like, the spaceship Challenger, didn't it blow up? So yeah, I'm gonna upload this and put that link. I think you'll find Eddie and Rex's conversation pretty cool. So I love you all and I appreciate you joining me. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.